G'day, I'm Mark Latham for Rebel Australia. I'm right here in the middle of the federal seat of Watson. I'm here at Roseland Shopping Centre, a big facility in Tony Burke's seat of Watson. Now, Tony Burke is the Labor Party spokesperson for multiculturalism. Recently, he's done one of the most amazing backflips you'd ever see in Australian politics. 10 years ago, he was criticising the Howard government for not enforcing strong English language skills for new arrivals, migrants, coming to Australia. But now he's totally moved in the opposite direction. He's saying we don't need a strong English language test for people to become Australian citizens. Why would he be backflipping? Well, one of the theories is that Burke represents a seat where the big ethnic groups have got the voting power. More than 50% of his electorate were born overseas. He's got 20% of people in the seat speaking Arabic and practicing Islam. He's got a seat where just 27% are English language speakers only, so a huge proportion who speak languages other than English. So I want to test the reason why Burke has done this backflip, why he's against English language skills for citizenship. I would have thought in a multicultural society, if we can't talk to each other, if we can't all express the national language of English, we've got a huge, huge problem. So let's test it out in Tony Burke's backyard. Do you think people need to pass an English language test to get Australian citizenship? Because Tony Burke, the local member of parliament, has said they don't have to have the English language test.
You've got to have it.
You've got to have it?
I come in this country in 1948, and I worked in a shop for 31 years, in a fruit shop. And believe me, my friend, I had to speak English. I couldn't go anywhere where they speak English.
And what are the English language skills like around here? How many people speak English, how many don't?
Well, all of my family speak English.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, all my kids, they all born here and they all speak English.
So you think Tony Burke is totally wrong in saying, totally wrong?
He's very wrong, believe me.
Why do you think he's saying this? He's your local member of parliament.
Well, I don't like him.
You don't like him, okay. Do you think people need to pass an English language test to become Australian citizens?
Yes, I do.
So you think your local member of parliament, Tony Burke, is wrong, that he's saying they don't need to pass the test?
That's wrong. They should speak English.
Yeah, I would have thought in multiculturalism, if we can't talk to each other using the national language, how do we get to know each other, build trust and cooperation? So it makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. English is a must.
Yes, it is.
I think you definitely need to pass, for sure. Yeah, there's too many people in this country that are just taking liberties with with our country. So yeah, definitely 100% you have to take a language test. I mean, I deal with the public all the time, and a lot of people come up to me and they can't speak a word of English. I think it's disgusting. I don't mind if they come to this country, but at least try to learn the culture and learn the language.
Yeah, we can't get to know each other and support each other unless we can talk to each other. Yeah, it's a basic requirement, isn't it?
No, that's right, 100%. Yeah, that's right. So, 100%. You need to be able to speak this English to be able to come to this country. If you want to become a citizen or anything like that. I mean, my auntie, it took her months and months, and she's from England, to even try and get her foot in the door to become a citizen of this country. And she's been living in this country for 40 odd years. So, I mean, and the average person comes to this country from, Middle Eastern countries or whatnot, and they just get preferential treatment. It's just so wrong. The problem is a lot of the new Australians, if you want to call them that, they don't want to mingle with the Aussies that have been brought up, born
well, you can't mingle if you're not speaking English.
Well, that's right. Well, that's right. It's really hard. So, I mean, as I said, I've got no dramas with them coming to this country as long as they want to abide by, try and mingle with us and our culture. And, the trouble is that, they just want to do their own thing. They don't want to mingle with us, and they call us racist. Well, it's so wrong because, we've opened the doors for them to come in. And, they don't want to mingle. They don't want to learn the language. They don't want to learn the culture, And, I mean, I think about how would I feel if I went to one of their countries. I'd go out of my way to try and learn their culture, learn their language and that.
To integrate and
survive. And that's right. Yeah. But when they come in, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them don't seem to want to do it.
So it sounds like Tony Burke needs to pull his head in.
Oh, 100%, definitely, yeah.
Tony Burke, the local member of parliament here, is saying people don't need to pass an English language test to become Australian citizens. Do you think that's right or wrong?
I think it's wrong. I think they should be speaking English quite well.
And how many people around here wouldn't speak English, do you think? Is it a big problem, non-English speaking in the seat of Watson?
I reckon probably about half, I reckon.
Ah, that many?
Yeah. Right, I'm only guessing, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but
Sure.
yeah.
And do you think speaking English is important to us so we can get to know each other and build
sure.
a stronger society?
Oh, for sure. Especially with kids and that, you know, going to school and that, I think it's very important.
Yeah. Tony Burke, your local Member of Parliament.
Yeah.
Do you think he's right or wrong in saying they don't need to pass the English language test to be citizens?
Oh, I think it depends on the test and what the bar is, you know. So I think there's probably an element of fairness and not fairness with this exam. So I'm not sure. I'm not up on it, so I probably can't comment.
Yeah. Around here, how many people do you think speak English and how many don't? What sort of proportion?
I think there'd be a high proportion of non-English. So, yeah.
Does that make it hard for people to get to know each other and work together, build a better society?
I think so. Yeah,
so you think we need a bigger effort by government for people to speak English so we get to know each other?
To an extent, yeah. Yeah.
Can I ask you about Tony Burke, your Member of Parliament here? He's saying that people don't need to pass an English language test to become Australian citizens. What do you think of that? No English language test for citizenship.
That's pathetic.
For what reason?
What do you mean? You're in Australia, you've got to know how to speak English.
Mm-hmm. So Burke, he's lost the plot. What proportion of people around here wouldn't speak English, do you think?
Well, most of it do.
Most do, yeah.
But some ethnics don't.
And why do you think Tony Burke is saying this? No need for English in the citizenship.
No idea, he's probably lost the plot.
Could I just ask you about Tony Burke, the local Member of Parliament, who's saying that people don't need to pass an English language test to get their citizenship. Do you agree with that or disagree?
Actually, I'm not sure because all need to know the basic English. So I think they should be given the platform to learn the English at first, then apply for their citizenship.
Right. And what proportion of people here do you think speak English and what proportion wouldn't speak English?
I think 90% people speak English because this is an English speaking country. So English is very important for all to speak. Yeah.
So would it be a big problem if people needed the English to get the citizenship?
Actually, I think before applying for citizenship, people at least have a fundamental knowledge of English.
Right.
Because this is what this country is for.
If you understand English, you can easy to communication.
Oh, so you think they do need the English to become Australian citizens?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
oh,
sure.
okay, I get you.
But not a very high level. So just you can communicate.
So you can understand, each
understand
other and get to know each other.
Yeah, you can live in the Australian society.
Right. Hello, can I ask you about Tony Burke, your local Member of Parliament, who's saying that people don't need to speak English and pass a test to get their citizenship?
No, they need to pass the test.
Right.
Yep.
You think English is really important?
Of course. We're Australians. Yep.
And why do you think Tony Burke would be saying this, no English for citizenship?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
And around here, what proportion of people do you think speak English to a decent standard and those who don't?
Not a lot of people speak English around this areas, but I think it's quite important. I'm Australian born and grown up here, so yeah.
So you'd like to see the government do more to encourage English?
100%, yeah.
Right. Well, that was a fascinating discussion with the people here in Watson at the Roseland Shopping Centre. So many people saying that they disagree with Tony Burke. They think that English language is critical for Australian citizenship. Some people saying the skills around here in English are not very good. The government needs to do more to lift up the proportion of people who speak good English so we can get to know each other, build trust and cooperation in a multicultural society. So Tony Burke, you've basically got no support or very little support here at Roseland Shopping Centre, the overwhelming majority against you. It raises the question, why would Tony Burke be saying that you don't need to pass the English language test for citizenship? Are there some ethnic groups here, ethnic community leaders who are saying to Burke, we don't want to learn English, we've got our own newspapers, our radio, our signage in the shops, we don't want English as a requirement? Burke seems to be under the thumb of the ethnic community leaders, out of step with the majority opinion, the outsiders in his electorate who aren't able to lobby him in his electorate office and elsewhere. Tony Burke, pull your head in, you can do a lot better. If you like this video, please share it with all your friends and on social media, and sign up for all our Rebel Australia activities at marklathamsoutsiders.com.